MMA'R'USS, welcome back. Israel Adesanya Periera with the early stoppage talk. It's a fact that it was a perfect stoppage. I mean, is this that hard? Am I missing something? He was humped over with his hands down. That's how he was. The second he did that, the ref jumped in. It was absolutely perfect stoppage. He got hit a bunch of times, and he humped over, bent over, not defending, not moving, with his hands like he was like this. I mean, I don't have to show you. You can watch the video. I don't understand the stoppage talk. It's like one of the best ones I've ever seen. What are you trying to say? He was humped over with his hands down and he completely stopped moving. What are you trying to say? He was gonna jerk to the left or jerk to the right or throw an uppercut, but the ref stopped it? Come on. There are so many better things that we can be doing in the UFC, people. You can't talk about that. That was a perfect stoppage. That they should have. They probably do, but if they don't have awards for referees for great stoppages, that should be a category, because that was a perfect stoppage. I mean, it was the epitome of what a stoppage should be. Israel was getting hit, he's rocked, he's still standing up and moving, and then he hit and he goes over to lean over type deal, humped over, and his hands are, like went with it. His hands are, at like waist high, and he went, like his hands went with him humping over. He didn't like put his hands up. They were right here, and then when he humped over, they were it's ridiculous. I don't even know how there's a discussion. Everybody should be doing backflips on, finally there's a referee that did something really like dead balls. Perfect. Couldn't have been more perfect. Imagine he fights him again. That'll be so funny. 4 fights, 0-4. That takes balls, man, to lose 3 times and really believe that and he did have him. I mean, he could have done it. He could have done it. And he's younger, too. That's what scares me. He's younger. He's 32. And I know that it's really not a big difference, but first of all, it can be a big difference. Who knows? Maybe he's a young 32 and Alex is an old, you know what I mean? It's not, the biggest difference in the world, but 32 and 35, there is something there. 32, you're at like the tail end, but you're almost still in your prime, full blown. 35, you're really not there at all, as far as like full blown prime. 32, you kind of are. So Izzy maybe that's why Izzy did so good, because he's a little younger and he moved around the whole time and just picking away. But that was amazing. I would love to know if it went like the same way as Leon Edwards and Usman, which is very funny. 170, what happens, and then at 185, same thing happens. The champ was dominating, and then a dramatic twist at the end. Unbelievable. So, yeah, all that stuff, all that good, yeah, and all that good stuff. 32 years old, 35 Periera, and 0-3. And he fights him again. If he 4 fights, and yeah, that's toughy. That's a toughie. How are they gonna do that? And to change it a little, to change the subject a little bit, Periera hasn't really fought a full-blown freaking mixed martial art assassin, Like, I mean, let's think about someone that would cremate him right now. I mean, I can name, I bet, a bunch of 170ers that can. I mean, you would have to think Chimaev would just like walk through Periera. Like, don't get me wrong, this guy is bad news. Alex Periera, yeah, bad news. I know, he's good. But Chimaev is the same. Chimaev is, I mean, come on. Look at the wrestling difference. I mean, you would have to think, like, and also, why wouldn't, yeah, now that this Pereira Adesanya thing is over, they gotta give him like a real deal assassin, not just a kickboxer. That's weird, man. Real weird. Like, it was a dead give. I'm not that smart, and it was maybe I'm wrong, because I give everybody the benefit of the doubt. Maybe I'm wrong, but it seems to me like you freaking bring this guy into the UFC, he has 4 fights, 300 days later, he's a champion. It takes people 10 years to become champions, and he gets it in a year because he had beef with this guy, and all he does is kickbox. Let him go through 8 people. 4 of them, their main thing is wrestling, and get half and half. Yeah, let's think of like 185 that'll smoke him. Just smoke him. There's gotta be. I'm trying to think of someone that is like not a 10 at wrestling, but like a 5 and a 5 at striking. So like they're mixed. Bear with me, folks. Don't make fun. Who the freak? I mean, Sean Strickland should have shot in on him, and I don't even know if Sean knows how to wrestle, but Who is, I mean, Chimaya is just coming to mind, obviously. No. Come on, man. 185er that'll walk right through him. My point is, I can't think of anybody because I feel like I'm on the spot and you're watching me. Dang it. 185ers. Let's put Luke Rockhold against him. As crazy as that sounds. If he would have fought him instead of Paul Acosta, and now that I think of it, I didn't need to think of any 185ers that can beat Pereira. They all can. I'm kidding. But, you know, he had 4 kickboxing matches and then became the champion. That's crazy. It's like, it's so clear as day. Let's get back to that one. It's so clear as day what Dana White was trying to do. You know, just use the hype from him at Adesanya losing, but like for him to become champion, like that's crazy. Like the guy isn't, you know, that charismatic. You know, he's not like a Conor McGregor. You know, like talking after the fights and going buck wild. I mean, Adesanya didn't lose, I guess, is that why? That's why. They couldn't find anybody to beat Adesanya, I guess. I don't know. But you bring this guy in because he beat Adesanya and then just give him all stand-up fighters and only 4 or whatever it was, 3, and then 4 or whatever, and then, you know, you just wanted to do it for hype. You didn't make him go through, you know, the real deal circuit, you know. You just did it to get money from pay-per-views. You weren't doing it to see who the best in the world is. And you always say you put on, you know, the best fights and, you know, the real fights. And you do. But, you know, this wasn't the, you know, it's just weird. It is weird. I don't really care. I don't care. But it's a little strange. This guy just freaking all stand-up fighters and then freaking in a year, a little over a year or whatever it was. So, yeah. And and the stoppage now is, I think, unbelievable. And what else we got? Poirier, Chandler, it was great. All good stuff. What else we got? What was I thinking on that card? What was I thinking? Yeah, that's about it. I'll be back.